Hey everyone, Brian from Bearable Traders here. Wednesday, July 17th. Working our way through July, halfway through, and you can see here we had a pretty red day on the markets. After making all-time highs, we seem to be pulling back a bit, and you can see how we finished the day here on Wednesday. Dow down 115, NASDAQ down, and the S&P down, all about 0.5%, give or take, and you can see pretty red here today. Going to be an interesting morning tomorrow. Netflix reported after the close. Sold off pretty hard on, I think, some poorer than expected subscriber growth numbers. So that's going to be lead for some interesting price action in the morning on maybe some of the tech stocks. But yeah, overall we've been moving higher, and now we're pulling back here. So let's take a look at the groups and what might be telling us here. So utilities are coming back into play with healthcare as well. So back to the safety trade, and the rest of the markets are all negative today on the week performance. I don't know that this really tells us anything. It's where things have been, maybe not where things are going here in the short term. Let's take a look at the indexes quickly. You can see here the 10-year actually started to roll over again, so interest rates 10-year on the 10-year are heading lower. I'm not sure if that's what kind of indication that is. We had an inside day today, so we're watching to see what happens there. The Dow, we can see here, broke out to a new time high, and now we seem to be pulling back. Quite often this happens when you break out to a new high. You end up pushing higher and then stalling out and then coming back and testing that breakout level. So we may actually be heading back to 2700, and timing would probably be all right. I mean, what's probably people are kind of waiting on is to see what the decision is going to be with the Fed at the end of July with their meeting. Are they going to cut a quarter point, which I think is pretty much baked in. That's what most people are expecting. You know, it'll be a surprise if they do a half point cut, or if they don't do a cut at all. So yeah, kind of just waiting to see what happens there. Again, IWM struggling of all the indexes, the small caps, and we're back down to a level of pretty much kind of support that we've been in this range here. So at the bottom end of the range in the support level. So RSI has kind of gone negative. Yeah, small caps are not looking particularly healthy at this point. Let's skip over the weeklies. Qs again broke out, now coming back, and maybe going to check back here to 191. Same comment. Same comment with the SPY. Here, there's our breakout level right about here, 2963, maybe heading back down there, another 20 points or so. Might actually do that tomorrow with some of the earnings that have come out after, and some of the ones that are going to come out tomorrow morning before the open. The dollar strength. Dollar strength's been mentioned in a lot of the earnings reports as being a headwind for a lot of these companies, and you can see here dollar's still pretty strong and hanging in there. And the VIX spiked up today with the sell-off. So we came down here, tested this prior low once, twice, and bounced back up today. So interesting price action. Let's see what we got for the actives right now. Gold, kind of regretting selling some of my gold position yesterday. It looked like it was stalling out, but you know, had another move up today. So I'm not. I still have a gold position, my core position. Let's skip to Nugget right away here. This is what I'm holding. Nugget had a great day today, and you can see that's why the miners always do better than the actual product itself. And the miners were up almost $2 today, so that was a nice move on Nugget, which I still do have some of. So let's go back and look at BMY. We did take an entry back at 44.13 on this. Did not have a very great day, unfortunately, and so it's kind of getting close to where I'm going to stop out. So if it has another negative day tomorrow, I'm going to be stopping out on that. 44.30 is where I got in, so it's it's going to be a small loss here. The other thing that I did get into that I sent out an email about was Roku. This was an options trade, and this turned out really well. I sold the 114 options when we spiked up here close to the end of the day. I sold the calls, which for $2, which meant that if it went to 116, because I sold them for $2, I'd be out of the money. But I kind of figured it was going to do a pullback here just because it had such a monster day yesterday. That's why I sold them pretty close to the high of the day. And then we had a nice pullback today on them, and I actually closed out half the position already on that, and locked in some profits. And it looked like with Netflix reporting at the end of the close today, had a really, like I said, had a bad reaction, and Roku's down with it. So I think the rest of those calls are gonna expire worthless, and I'm just gonna keep the premium, which is what the point of that trade was. So let's take a quick look at the ETFs here today, see what's been happening. XLB. I think all the groups are going to be down today. Communications down. Energy is really taking a beating here. That reacted negatively to some news that maybe there was going to be a deal with some kind of moving forward on some negotiations with Iraq, I believe, and I'm not sure if that's true, but energy took another beating today. XLF, again, a down day. Got some big banks. I think Morgan Stanley reports in the morning. BAC, and there was one other bank that reported today. Kind of flat reaction to that. Technology down. I think the only thing, consumer staples kind of hung in there. Safety trade. Utilities kind of hung in there. Indecision candle, the decision day kind of hung in there. Safety trade with the market going down. And we had a bit of a negative day on the healthcare sector, but still finished on a higher on the day. So that's it. Let's just take a quick look at what I typically am watching. Baba actually had not a bad day given the fact that the market was down, so it's kind of hanging in here at the 175 level, and see if it can continue, if it is going to roll over a bit. Volume was pretty light on that. Baidu, another down day, not reacting very well. Facebook down, having some challenges with Libra, and I think they're on the hill, getting grilled again. Chinese internet stocks overall down. I mean, Baba was fighting a trend on that. Pull back on MU and sort of finding some footing here today. Actually up on a down day, so keep an eye on that in the morning. Silver taking off. Silver is another one, poor man's gold. Do have a little silver in an account right now, and pretty happy with that trade actually. Long-term trade. And here we are. The semis not great. T may be giving us an opportunity to get in around 33 or 32.50, so definitely going to be keeping an eye on that. Got an alert set, 32.50. If it gets back there, I might take a position on that. Nothing much with price of natural gas. Natural gas will be reporting on they'll get an inventory number tomorrow, Thursday. And oil again taking a hit right here. It's really gone down. Maybe finding some support here for a bounce. You can always look at UWT if it looks like it's going to hold here tomorrow. Okay, well that's it. Hope everyone has had a good evening so far. And if you haven't had a chance, here's my book, How to Swing Trade. And it's on Amazon, available if you're interested. And other than that, we'll see everyone in the Bear Bull trading room in the morning. Have a good rest of the evening, everyone, and we will chat with you again soon, hopefully. Bye for now.